It's no secret being a free-to-play player as time has gone on has become harder and harder. Well, today I'm going to try to make it a little easier by breaking down the best free-to-play methods to level up in Pokemon Go. I've always spent a lot of money in Pokemon Go, which has given me a good perspective on all the best methods to collect XP and which ones relate best to free-to-play and how to make them free-to-play. Let's get into it. So the number one core gameplay mechanic that anyone can do is catch Pokemon. Every time you catch a Pokemon, you earn 100 XP. But when they implemented level 50 in 2020, they implemented a bunch of buffs to the amount of XP you get while catching Pokemon. And the number one way is with an excellent throw. The buff was made so if you land an excellent throw and you catch a Pokemon, you get 1000 XP. And yes, this can be done for completely free. You just need to have a little bit of skill. On top of that, there's other things you can do to gain a little bit more XP from catching Pokemon, which include a curveball throw for an additional 20 XP. Catching Pokemon on the first throw will get you 50 extra XP. The first catch of the day will catch you 1500 XP, and on your 7-day catch streak, you'll get 6000 extra XP. Now you can maximize the amount of XP you're getting from landing excellent throws on Pokemon by playing during boosted XP events. Majority of the time, there's different events that if you follow here on the channel, update you when, that include 2 times catch XP, which means 2000 XP for every Pokemon you catch on an excellent throw. This goes for events like Spotlight Hours, for example, or just weekly events. Community days sometimes include the catch bonus of 3 times catch XP, specifically every 3 months. I think the last one was a Jang Mo had 3 times catch XP, so honestly, great way to get XP. There's even rare events in Pokemon Go where we get 4 times catch XP. I actually went from level 1 to level 40 in 11 hours by hitting excellent throws on 4 times catch XP. Yes, I used lucky eggs to double my XP amount, but theoretically you could do this in 22 hours if you didn't use lucky eggs for completely free, minus the Pokeballs you need to find. In my opinion, Spotlight Hours and Community Days are the best events to take advantage of the catch XP bonus because spawns are boosted during events like that, and they're usually that spawn is everywhere, so you can get a really good feel of that specific Pokemon and how to land an excellent throw on it. So don't sleep on it. That's the number one way. Now to add on to this tip though, using the quick catch technique is going to be a top way to farm XP. The quick catch technique will allow you to skip the catching animation by running from the Pokemon before the animation finishes. The animation goes on in the background, but you don't have to waste your time. You'll simply do it by holding onto the Pokeball or the berry tray, throw the Pokeball, and then let go of that tray. It'll open the menu and the run button will still be in the top left. You can then run from that Pokemon and you either caught it or you didn't, but it allows you to skip the 3-ball shake. The more Pokemon you can catch, the more excellent throws you can make at a quicker pace, the more XP you can get in a shorter amount of time. I also will give a little, it's not completely free, but if somebody does gift you an auto catcher for your birthday or whatever, like a Pokemon Go++, then you can go ahead and connect this device to your account and it will auto throw Pokeballs in the background, allowing you to grind XP while you're not even playing, whether you're doing errands or whatever. This is a really underrated way to grind XP in Pokemon Go. Now, another thing that people don't take advantage of as a free-to-play player is Mega Evolution, because Mega Evolution allows you to get more XP in Pokemon Go. Depending on what level of a Mega you have, you can get more XP. Specifically, if your Mega is a high level Mega, any Pokemon you catch that's the same type as your Mega Pokemon, you're getting an additional 50 XP per catch. Max level Megas will then get you an additional 100 XP per catch. I know it's small amounts, but 10 Pokemon on a max level Mega, that's 1000 XP. So make sure you're Mega evolving your Pokemon every day. The reason being is that's how you level up your Mega. Specifically, I've made a Mega level up tag and I'll go in there and I'll Mega evolve my Pokemon when they are finally free to Mega evolve and the timer has cooled down. So it's completely free to Mega evolve them and you can go ahead and work on leveling them up. Specifically, this is amazing during events like Spotlight Hour or Community Day when one specific Pokemon is spawning, because you can go ahead and Mega evolve that correct Pokemon to go ahead and grind XP. Now, obviously, to make a lot of excellent throws, you do need to have Pokeballs, and this actually works right into another XP grinding method for completely free, spinning Pokestops and gyms. Every time you spin a Pokestop or a gym, you get 100 XP. First time of the day will get you 500 XP, and on a 7-day streak, 2000 XP. If you spin 10 unique Pokestops or gyms within 10 minutes, you'll also earn an additional 100 XP. Spinning a new Pokestop will get you 300 XP. If you spin a gym that you have a medal at, you can get different amounts of XP. I'm not going to go through the exact numbers, but a gold gym that is controlled by your team will earn you 125 more XP. So playing in areas where the gyms are your color and you've also golded them is the best way. Overall, spinning Pokestops is really not the best method to grind XP, but still does help, and it's the only way to get Pokeballs so you can land those excellent throws, which in my opinion is number one. I will say though, certain events do boost the amount of XP you get from spinning Pokestops. We've had events like Adventure Week where you get ×5 or ×10 XP for spinning a new Pokestop. Pokestop. So a good strategy, if there's any towns near your area or whatever, or areas where you haven't played Pokemon Go near you, wait until events like these and then go visit them. If you spin Pokestops with Halos, the newly discovered ones, you can get between 1500 and 3000 XP depending on the bonus per spin. This is an amazing way to grind XP for completely free by just spinning Pokestops in new areas when we get events with these bonuses. Going back to the Go++, if you were gifted one for completely free or somebody buys you one for your birthday or whatever, they are amazing to go ahead and spin Pokestops for you. You can connect it to your Pokemon Go account and it will spin Pokestops nearby you for pretty much, you don't have to do anything. It just does it for you. Really, really useful, especially for stockpiling revives and balls and all that stuff while you're going to run errands. There's one guy on my videos who always comments about how underrated evolving Pokemon is for XP, and it really is. Every time you evolve a Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you get 1000 XP. Think of it as trading candy for XP. That's how you think of it. And if the Pokemon is a new Pokedex entry, you'll earn additional 1000 XP. But the best way to take advantage of this is during a 2x Evolve XP Spotlight Hour. Every once in a while, we get a Spotlight Hour where the bonus is 2x X Evolve XP. That means 2000 XP per evolution. 2000 XP for just clicking a button is pretty good, so don't sleep on taking advantage of that bonus. You can also multiply this with a lucky egg if you're able to get one from a special research or something, but you don't want to just evolve any Pokemon because certain Pokemon are better to evolve as free-to-play players. Starting off with 12 candy Pokemon. Caterpie, Weedle, Pidgey, Wurmple, Whismur, and Pidove are all Pokemon that cost 12 candies to evolve, and if you played Pokemon Go back in 2016, you'll remember how goated Pidgey was, because the best way to level up was to just evolve Pokemon. It's still a good strategy too. Going ahead and farming all these Pokemon, especially when they're spawning in the wild, holding onto them into a tag and then just mass evolving them when you have extra time is a good way to get a bunch of XP. Also, using Pineapple Berries on these Pokemon when you find them in the wild is something you want to take advantage of. But not only that, there's Pokemon that can evolve for free in Pokemon Go. Abra or Kadabra, Machop or Machoke, Geodude or Graveler, Alolan Geodude or Alolan Graveler, Ghastly or Haunter, Roggenrola or Baldor, Timber or Girder, Carablast, Shelmet, Phantom, and Pumpkaboo are all free trade evolution Pokemon. Meaning if you receive one from a trade, it will be free to take it into its final form. When I say this, taking Abra to Kadabra will still cost candies, but then evolving Kadabra into Alakazam will be completely free. So if these Pokemon are ever spawning in the wild, stockpile them, hold on to them, and then go ahead and trade them or mirror trade them with a friend, receive them, and then you can hold on these Pokemon and evolve them for completely free on your own time or during a 2x Evolve XP Spotlight Hour. Now moving on, although not the best strategy to get XP for free, hatching eggs is still a viable way to get a little bit of XP here and there, and there's some tips people aren't really using. Specifically, 2-kilometer eggs when you hatch them will give you 500 XP, 5 and 7s will give you 1000, 10s will give you 2000, and 12s will give you 4000 XP. Not bad. The best way to take advantage of hatching eggs is to wait for half or quarter egg hatch distant events. This is when you can stockpile eggs and go ahead and hatch them really quickly as a free-to-play player. Unfortunately, as a free-to-play player, you only get one free incubator, but if you're able to get a couple extras from special research or whatever, you can take advantage of this. But what people don't take advantage of as free-to-play players is community ambassador meetups. If you go to a community ambassador meetup and you check into that meetup, no matter what the meetup is, when you're in a party, you will get 25% less egg incubator distance, meaning you can get less egg incubator distance at any point in time in Pokemon Go. For example, during a quarter hatch distance community event, go to a community ambassador meetup, check in and party up with some friends, and your 2-kilometer eggs will be hatching at 0.4 kilometers. Yes, 400 meters to hatch a 2-kilometer egg at a community ambassador meetup. This is amazing to grind through eggs as free-to-play players, although not the best way to grind XP, still very good. Now, I think something that every single free-to-play player has to take advantage of is gymming in Pokemon Go, because it is the only way to get Pokecoins in Pokemon Go, but it can also be used as a double whammy and get you XP as well. Specifically, defeating an enemy gym will reward you 1000 XP, defeating a Pokemon in a gym, 3000 XP, and every time you attempt to defeat a Pokemon in a gym, you will earn a bonus 150 XP. Giving a berry to a Pokemon in a gym will also get you 50 XP. So interacting with gymming is a great way for free-to-play players to earn XP. You can place up to 20 Pokemons in gyms, so if you take on 20 gyms a day, that can be up to 20,000 XP, and not only that, it is the only way to get your Pokecoins in Pokemon Go. Also, dropping berries into gyms is not only a good way to get Stardust in Pokemon Go, but also grind passive XP. You can feed a total of 100 berries to Pokemon in 30 minutes, which is 5,000 XP every 30 minutes. Not bad. Now, one of the worst ways for free-to-play players to grind XP is raiding, because it is the least free-friendly thing in Pokemon Go. But there are 9 different types of raid bosses in Pokemon Go, with Tier 1 raids giving you 3,500 XP, Tier 3s and 4s giving you 5,000, Tier 5s, Megas, Primals, Ultra Beast raids giving you 10,000, Elite raids giving you 12,000, and Mega legendaries, giving you 13,000. Definitely go ahead and take advantage of using your free daily pass on these gyms, but by no means should you really be taking advantage as a free-to-play player, but you can only do one a day for free. But what you can do is you can try to attend raid hour events and get a bit more out of raiding, because raid hour events will respawn raids every single 30 minutes. And if you attend a raid hour community ambassador meetup and you check in, you do get one extra free raid pass. So that can be a little bit of extra for a free-to-play player to take more advantage of that. Also, holding on to your raid pass from the day before raid hour allows you to do the 3 raids with the free one from the campfire meetup and then your 2 raid passes from the day before and that day, which is nice. But if you are into raiding and you're a free-to-play player, raid day events are the ones to do, because during these events you usually get up to 5 free raid passes. Raid day events usually feature tier 5 or mega raids, which means you can get up to 10,000 XP per raid, which is like 50,000 free XP, 100,000 on a lucky egg. Remember to take advantage of all these raiding stuff, especially when we get a special bonus. For example, a couple seasons ago, we had 1 extra free raid pass every single day for everybody, which means you can do 2 raids a day. So if you're a free-to-play player, keep an eye on the channel here. I'll update you when that is, so you guys can know when you can get more free raid passes in Pokemon Go, because that is really huge. Like if you completed 2 legendary raids that whole season for 90 days, you can earn up to 1.8 million XP just from those raids from that season. Now, although raiding is not the best way to grind XP, I would say Dynamax and Gigantamax is pretty good even if you're a free-to-play player. The new mechanic Dynamax has 6 different tiers, with tier 1 max battles giving you 5,000 XP, tier 2 6,000, tier 3 7,500, tier 4 10,000, tier 5 15,000, and tier 6 max battles giving you 25,000 XP per max battle. And if you do max battle in person, you're gonna get 2,500 extra XP versus if you were to do it remotely. Now, max particles can be collected for free every single day and can be used to take on these battles. Tier 1 max battles require 250 max particles, tier 2 and 3 requiring 400, and tier 4, 5, and 6 requiring 800 max particles. And these max battles will only spawn at power spots, and which will despawn and spawn in different locations every 3 days. You can claim 1,000 free max particles per day, which is, if you do a Gigantamax boss, 25,000 XP per day from completing that. Now, obviously, Gigantamax bosses do take a little bit of coordination, preparation, all that stuff, because they're really, really hard to take on. But even just taking on tier 1 max battles with your max particles every day is pretty big. 4 tier 1 max battles is 20,000 XP per day. That's really good XP, so don't sleep on that. That is really big, taking advantage of your max particles. Specifically, a Max Monday event is a great event to take this on. Every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. your local time, one Pokemon is featured in Max Monday, where it's at every single power spot, so you can go ahead and take it on and get a bunch of free XP from using your free max particles, your 1,000 you collect every day. There also is max battle days, similar to raid days, where you can get a bunch of extra max particles, and usually they feature Gigantamax Pokemon, which has a higher chance of a bunch of trainers being out. The best way to find people to take on these things, by the way, if you're somebody who's new to the game, is to go to Campfire, sort by meetups, and look for the Campfire meetups. That's where everyone's going to be playing and taking on these G-Max battles. If done correctly during past max battle days, the free max particles you could get allow you to take on up to 7 Gigantamax battles for free, which would get you 175,000 XP for free, and you could double that using a lucky egg. So huge amounts of XP can be gained during these max battle day events. But powering up your max Pokemon is another way to get XP. For some reason, Niantic have allowed us to grind XP through powering up our max moves, including max attack, max spirit, and max guard. Unlock a level 1 max move, you'll get 4,000 XP. Upgrade a max move to level 2, 6,000, and max a max move, and you'll get 8,000 XP. Now, obviously, this takes candy and stardust, and it's pretty expensive to do, but if you were to upgrade a Pokemon from no max moves to every max move at the max level, that's 50,000 XP per Pokemon. So, if you're gonna power up these Pokemon to take on the Gigantamax battles, take the free XP, we take it. Now, one of the most common ways to grind XP before excellent throws were a thing was friendship level. So of course we have to mention it. If you don't know, there are 4 levels of friendship in Pokemon Go. Good friendship level, getting you 3,000 XP once you hit that level. Great friendship level, which is 10,000 XP. It does require 7 days of interactions. Ultra Friends is gonna get you 50,000 XP, requiring 30 days of interactions. And Best Friends, 100,000 XP, requiring 90 days of interactions. And every time you send a gift to someone, you do get 200 XP. Gotta mention it. So obviously going ahead and interacting with your friends every single day, sending them gifts, opening your max amount of gifts every single day. You can search interactable in your friends list, and this will show you all the friends you haven't interacted with that day. Will work on your friendship levels. It's then a really good idea to message these friends on Campfire or whatever way you might be able to interact with them, and let them know when you guys want to hit best friends or ultra friends or whatever, and you can go ahead and drop your lucky eggs, because these XP amounts can be doubled on a lucky egg. Now, obviously, as a free-to-play player, you might not have that many lucky eggs, so you want to use them wisely, which we'll talk about in a little bit on how to do that. But Anyway, coordinating when you're hitting your friendship levels is really, really big because you can go ahead and get, double 100,000 XP. That's 200,000 XP. That's 300,000 XP. But there's another way to take advantage of friendship bonuses, and that's by deleting friends just as you add them. For example, adding 30 completely new friends and interacting with all of them right away, you will hit good friends with them instantly on that first day since it only takes 1 day to interact. That is 90,000 XP worth of XP without a lucky egg if you interact with all 30 people. You can double this on a lucky egg, that's 180,000 XP each day. So if you want, you could theoretically go around and add 30 new friends a day, open all 30 of their gifts on that day on a lucky egg, and go ahead and grind 180,000 XP per day. Now, you might run out of friends to do this with at one point, but that is a strategy if you want to do that. Now, I've talked a lot about lucky eggs in this video, and obviously as a free-to-play player, you might not have access to lucky eggs since they do cost money. Now, obviously completing all of your timed researches, special researches, go passes, any single free thing you get in Pokemon Go that gives you free lucky eggs, do them, get those lucky eggs. But when you're using those lucky eggs to double the amount of XP you gain in Pokemon Go, here's the best way to use them, and that's through party play. A feature added in 2023, if you party up with your friends and you share items through the party play, you'll get double value. Meaning, if I am in a party with one friend and I use a lucky egg, we each get 30 minutes of lucky egg. If you used on yourself, you'd only get 30 minutes yourself. Meaning, if you have friends, party up with them and everybody uses lucky eggs, everybody's gonna get double the amount of lucky egg time if they were to use it on themselves. 4 people in a party using 4 lucky eggs each is going to give everybody 4 hours of lucky egg. Use 4 lucky eggs on yourself, you're only getting 2 hours. So do not sleep on this if you're planning on hitting friendship levels, if you're planning on going on an excellent throw grind, if you're planning on doing a bunch of raids or max battles. Always party up with your friends, share lucky eggs through the party, and that's how you take advantage of that. As a free-to-play player, this is very, very important to do because you're going to be getting more out of your lucky eggs. Recapping overall, I would say as a free-to-play player, the best way to grind XP is always going to be excellent throws, and even if you pay money, this is the best way to grind XP. Also, having your friendship bonuses going down in the background is amazing as well, but just get better at excellent throws, land excellent throws. That's really going to be the best passive XP and the fastest way to level up. Again, I went from level 1 to 40 in 11 hours hitting excellent throws in Pokemon Go. If I didn't use lucky eggs, that would be 22 hours. That is still 22 hours to hit level 40 in Pokemon Go. It's insane. Watch out on the screen if you enjoyed this one. Drop your free-to-play tips and things you've learned as a free-to-play player on how to grind XP a lot quickly in Pokemon Go. Follow for tips. Peace.